rays of sunshine. How are you all doing out there today? I'm Michelle the Introvert, and today you find me out in my backyard with my garden. It is a little bit overcast today. I don't see any sunshine. I don't see any sun. But because Gerald is home, he doesn't work today, we thought we better take this time to do some work in the garden. We're in the month of May 2025, and we just want to get things established with the garden so that we can plant more seeds out here. The month of June is a safe time for everything to start growing. It's past the frost, so we're just trying to get everything done today that we need to do. And also we want to make our garden more deer proof. So today's the day, and if you want to join us today, my friends, that would be great. We welcome you to come along. Gerald's been busy this morning. He replaced the old twine and put this brand new twine around the perimeter of the garden just to tighten up the fencing a little bit. And down in the front here I have some rhubarb. I did have those in 2 totes, but for the past couple of years they really haven't been growing the way that they should. So I thought, well, I'll take them out of the totes and put them right into the ground and see what happens. I'm starting to establish a bit of an order to my garden, but I still have a bit of work to do. You can see that some of those don't belong in there, but I'm getting things in order, and today is the day to do that. And we have our greenhouse here now. Gerald, Joshua, and I put that in a few days ago. So one of the things that I want to do today is to kind of tidy up the totes. You can see it's a little bit chaotic there, but today's the day I put everything in order. And there's our friendly little neighborhood Cappy. Hi, Cappy. Going for a stroll. Hi, Cappy. What you doing? Did you finish your breakfast? Are you awake yet? It's still early in the morning. Hi there, little boy. This is the netting here that I'm going to be using in the garden, and I actually have a third one of these. I bought these from Dollarama, but in order to keep the deer from jumping into our garden, I take this netting, there's quite a bit in here, and I put it over the top of the garden like a blanket. We put it over the top, so between the netting and now that we have the greenhouse in the garden and then the tree, there's a tree in the garden as well, that is definitely a deterrent to keep the deer out. Well, Gerald and I have been quite busy, and Joshua has come out to help us as well, and it looks a lot tidier. I'd like to show you my progress. We can use the rhubarb section as a starting point, and I have my bricks there to show where the border is. My fishing totes are all lined up. And for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, we use fishing totes that the fishermen use on the boats, and each of those fishing totes, when we bought them, already had holes drained in the bottom, or drilled in the bottom for drainage. So it was a really good buy to have them like that. So I have these fishing totes along here, and I just have to do some weeding. Today was more or less a day for organizing, laying out the garden in an orderly fashion. So I have some weeding to do. There's grass coming up. But you can see there's a bit of an order to this method of madness. It was a little chaotic earlier just because we were trying to keep the deer out. These 4 totes here are for my strawberry patch, and you can see some of them are already starting to flower. And I put these shavings on like a blanket to cover them over the winter time to protect the strawberry plants. And I gave them room here to expand. There's some more strawberry plants coming up there. Now to my left, I'm still working on this section. I'm gonna move those out of the way. And this section here, I'm going to shovel all of this, all of this, all of this. So Joshua has a pumpkin patch. So I'm gonna move those out of the way. It's still a work in progress. And I'll have some extra tomatoes growing there. Those bigger round pots, those will be for tomato plants. See those round ones there that are all together? Those will also be for tomato plants. Just keeping most of the tomato plants together. My daughter Stacy had these 2 fishing totes at her house, but last summer she had grew some beans, and just the very day she was going to pick her beans because they had grown to maturity, ready to be picked, that very day that she was going to pick them, the deer decided to pick them as well. So she came home from work and they were gone. So she asked if we could keep these in here. I have 2 blueberry bushes right there. Here's a closer look at the blueberry bushes, and you can see they're already starting to bud. And I protected them as well this year by using shavings. I'm going to weed this, of course. And there's the other blueberry bush there. Gerald and Joshua just come back from Tim Hortons, picked me up a coffee, and they picked one up for each of them as well. So this is great. Definitely a nice pick-me-upper. I'm in front of the greenhouse now, and I'll take you for a little tour. I've got things laid out, basically in the order that I'd like them. And there's a lot of smaller plant holders in here. See those bigger ones there? I'm gonna use those bigger ones for my green peppers. All of my pepper plants will go in those bigger ones, because I learned from last year that these smaller ones just aren't big enough for the peppers. So I'll grow my lettuce in here and other things too. My celery. Celery generally doesn't grow very well in Nova Scotia, but I'm going to try again this year. This will be my 2nd year growing celery. And I think that maybe if they're in the warmer greenhouse, they might do a little bit better than if I were trying to grow them out there. I still have some weeding to do, and some of these plant holders are empty, so I've got a bit of more work to do. That big tote there, I have that in here for a reason. That is to anchor down the greenhouse so that when the Nova Scotia winds blow, my greenhouse doesn't go flying. So that there is an anchor to keep the greenhouse in one spot. Also, I'm gonna grow some green peppers in there. So I've got quite a few of the smaller plant holders in here. And I've got big plans, good plans, fun plans for everything you see. And it's pretty surprising how much you can fit in this little greenhouse. Oh, there's Joshua's thermometer up there. He bought that thermometer at a yard sale, and he wanted to put it in here, so it's in a good spot. I'm also going to plant some flowers in here as well to welcome the bumblebees. But you see, we've got lots, and there's my rubber boots. There's my rubber boots there. Lots of room for growing things. We're also planting some flowers outside for the bumblebees, and I'll show you some of the spots that we have some of those seeds planted. Josh and I have some flower seeds in those two smaller planters there. They haven't germinated yet, but we'll see what happens. If they don't germinate, I've got a lot more flower seeds to go in there. There's flower seeds in those as well, just outside the greenhouse door. And there's more flowers planted there as well. We're going to be planting a lot more flowers as well for the bumblebees, because we want this garden to be their playground. They're definitely welcome in our garden. And also when the zucchini starts to grow and the blossoms or the flowers start growing from the zucchini, I find the bumblebees love those zucchini blossoms. They just love them. So I'll be planting a lot of zucchini this year too. We're back in the house, and I wanted to show you how Joshua's easy to grow kits are doing. We planted these, well, over about 2.5 weeks ago we planted the easy to grow kits, and then we planted some other things about, well, 13-14 days ago. So I wanted to show you how these are progressing as well. There's Joshua's oregano, and these tall plants here, these little beauties, are tomatoes. They're doing really well too. And here's the mint. The mint is actually growing. I wasn't sure if it would grow or not, but it is growing, so that's exciting. This will be my first time growing mint. So I'm going to have to do some research about how to use this once it gets to maturity. But you can see the little bud there. Cute little baby bud. And in the front here, we've got some more basil. And those are going to actually end up in the greenhouse. The basil, probably the mint as well. These are mini tomatoes, and they're doing really well also. And there's some more basil. Those are going to end up in the greenhouse. So Joshua's easy to grow kits are doing extremely well. To my surprise, the turnip is growing fantastic, and I'm going to have to transplant them. You can see they're outgrowing that little pot there. And to my utter surprise, and it is a surprise because celery is a new plant for me to grow. I just started last year, but they're actually starting to grow. It takes a lot longer to grow celery than most of the other things, but it looks like they're starting to germinate, so I'm excited. You can see they're quite small, but slowly by slowly they're coming up. Nothing from my green peppers yet, so I'll still wait patiently. And there's some flowers that Joshua planted for the bumblebees. Here are some more tomato plants. They look quite healthy. And over here I have a few things that I planted just a few days ago. Some of them have started coming up. Everything in the red containers are tomatoes. So the tomatoes are doing good. You can see that they've germinated. Definitely going to be able to use a lot of tomatoes once they get to full maturity. Oh yes, I just remembered. I have red onions planted in the pink pots there. I try to keep things color-coded. The same things in the same color of pots. And the reason why I put them in pink pots is because this is pink. So I thought that that would be good. Okay, so I've got onions in those pink ones. Looks good, Josh. Very good. Gerald, Joshua, and I are taking a little break for our lunch. So Gerald and Joshua are barbecuing some pork chops. And while they were busy doing that, I made a macaroni salad. I think it's going to taste really, really good with the pork chops. So that'll make a really nice lunch for today. Here it is. Lunch is ready. And I have a piece of cheese on there too. Yes, it's been a very good morning. It's been a very fun morning. And I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. It's been so productive. I'm so happy with how much we were able to get done in the garden. So now all I have to really do is do some weeding and then a little more planting. And of course the netting on the top has to go on top of the garden too. But it's all a fun adventure. And I'm glad that you are all here to join us. It's wonderful having your company. And if you like this vlog, please give me the YouTube thumbs up or press that subscribe button. That would be great. And I have more vlogs coming up, so stay tuned. And I'll talk to you all soon. Talk to you soon, my friends. Bye. Bye.